everyone. Before we get started today, I want to say thank you. We have gotten such great comments on our webpage, dianebakes.com. So keep them coming. And also, if you have a suggestion for our podcast, let me know. If you have a question, let me know. The whole vision that we have behind dianebakes.com is that it's interactive. And so help us build that community, okay? Today, we're going to talk about buttercream icing. I call this 1, 2, 3 buttercream for a number of reasons. 1, 2, 3 because it's easy, and 1, 2, 3 because those are the proportions of the ingredients. You have a 1 for egg whites. I have 4 ounces. 2 for sugar. I have 8 ounces. 3 for butter. I have 12 ounces. And what's so cool about this is that that's the recipe, 1, 2, 3. So whatever you start with, just continue through. I want to double it. I have 8 ounces of egg whites. I have 16 ounces of sugar. I have 24 ounces of butter. Had to think there for a second. Over here, I have what you need to flavor it and to color it. I have lemon oil and also coloring paste. I recommend that you use a paste versus a liquid because it adds extra moisture and it might make your frosting a little watery. Okay, the first step is that we have to cook the egg whites and the sugar. And the way that you do that is over a water bath. So those are my egg whites, and I'm going to add just a pinch of salt because egg whites are protein and they need to be loosened up. So that's what that does. The chemical reaction helps break up the protein. So I'm just going to break it up a little and bring it over to the stove. I have my water bath here, and you have to cook eggs for them to be safe to 140 degrees. That pasteurizes them. So I have an easier way that you can accomplish this. I'm going to add the sugar, a little bit at a time. It starts to get frothy. It's a good idea to keep whipping it because you just don't want it to get flat. You can see here now the egg whites and the sugar are coming together. And again, I want to get it to 140 degrees, but it's kind of a pain. It's going to mean that I have to get my thermometer. So little trick is rub it between your fingers. If you still feel that it's grainy, that the sugar's still there, that means the sugar hasn't melted. And for the sugar to melt, it's a higher temperature than the eggs need to be pasteurized, so you're safe. This is going to take about 3 or 4 minutes. You don't need the gym. Just come and make Swiss meringue buttercream icing because it's really quite a workout for your arm. It's been about 3 or 4 minutes, and I just want to test it one last time to make sure. Yep, not grainy, all the sugar's melted, and my eggs will be just fine. This is all set. The sugar has been melted. And now the egg white sugar mixture needs to be whipped until it's cool. Do you see how I used the bowl from the mixer? It's a way to save time so you don't have to wash. So we're going to use the whisk attachment because you need to add air into the mixture. And the way that you're going to be able to tell that it's to the point you want it to be is that the bowl is no longer hot. So see you in about 4 or 5 minutes. Okay, now this looks like it is done, and oh, it's so pretty. Look, it's like fluff, but good. Okay, let me just get a little of this off the beater. It's very sticky, but that's okay. And now we are going to put the butter in the buttercream. Back on the mixer. This time though, you use the paddle instead of the whisk, the paddle. And as I said before, it's cool to the touch, so that's another sign that I knew that it was ready. And with the mixer on a medium speed, I'm gonna add the butter, a piece at a time. This right now just is creamy and smooth, but then in the middle of it, as it continues to beat, it breaks up and it looks like it's curdled and you think, oh God, I totally did something wrong, but you didn't. And then after it reaches that point, it all comes back together. So I'm gonna show you what that looks like so you know that you're on the right track. Now this is the point I was talking about, that, look, it looks like it's all clumpy and almost like curdled. Ugh. Trust me, you're on the right track. Okay, now this is done. And it was curdly, but now it's come back together, so it's nice and smooth, you'll see. But do you also hear the noise that it's making? It's like this slapping sound. And that's another way for you to know that it's done. So leave that there. This is the stage where you add your flavoring. And I have lemon oil. I don't know if you've ever used oils. They're a bit more expensive than extracts, but they're far more concentrated, and so you use less. Again, this is lemon oil, and what I do is I pour a little tiny bit into the cap and then into my buttercream. Remember, you can always add more. So let me mix this in. And we are done. Look at this. It's really silky, and it's buttery, but it's not just as if you've taken butter and sugar and put them together. The egg whites add this just luxurious texture to it, and see, it's so nice. So again, make the cake from the box if you don't have the time, but if you do, make the icing from scratch. Swiss meringue buttercream icing, pretty good. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time.